New batteries.
Yeah.
I remember them being on there when I pulled it out.
What is that?
Comes that mean group. Oh.
Well, I'll let you know this evening.
We're here.
I see that. I'm not saying another word. That's that credit group. Don't smile.
Still, driving's fun.
What are you doing?
You can get gas.
Okay. Okay.
What can I say? Yes? Maybe after the serving table is all good,
Why was
push grandma and maybe Daryl
Okay.
or each one of the entertainments. Like Stephanie Allison and whoever it is. Use your own judgment.
How do you get the rice?
I got the rice.
How do you figure that out?
That's fine.
you like
Well, that's how you're gonna do it? Did you tell him? Tell him that.
Because it's so close. And what it was is that if you stay at a Minnesota
Either way.
Wildcat, four-door hardtop, black with red interior. That's a jazzy car. And he took me out to the garage, he said, Sam, how do you check under the hood? And I'll do this. I stick my head under the hood, and he has a fucking air horn. Hit that thing.
Back on this. I'm gonna go pour some punch.
That's all right.
No scourge come near your tent, for he will command his angels concerning you, to guard you in all your ways. On your hands they will bear you up, so that you will not dash your foot against the stone. You will tread on the lion and the adder, the young lion and the serpent you will trample underfoot. Those who love me I will deliver. I will protect those who know my name. When they call to me, I will answer them. I will be with them in trouble. I will rescue them and honor them with long life. I will satisfy them and show them my salvation. When Evangeline asked me to do this devotion, I wasn't too sure what to say. What I was thinking about, though, was how priceless people who have many years are to us. The church has always called its leaders historically elders, and in Israel, it was the oldest and wisest people who were given all the place to make decisions. I was thinking about what an honor it is to us that you have been with us so long, Orvesta. Will you pray with me? Dear Lord, we thank you for friendship and lives lived in your service. We thank you for the witness that you have given all of us through Orvesta. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Thank you very much. But do you realize when you talk about oldest and wisest, what we're going to have to put up with for the next while? There's a couple of introductions that I would like to make before we go on with the rest of the program. Some longtime family members. First of all, I would like to have introduce my mother's sister, Margaret Henchy. She's to my mother's right. Margaret, good to have you here. And to my left are Harry and Helen Obermeyer. Glad to have you here. Good to see you. At this time, introduce what the entertainment will be after that.
I'm to introduce each one of the members of my family, and my husband, Orlando. You have to come up here. Everybody has to come up here. Area and are not here today.
Sheldon, the red button.
Yep, it's cool.
And then our third son, Clinton, lives in Grand Forks, North Dakota right now. And then our fourth son, Dayton, lives in Wilmington, Delaware, and he too is not here, my family.
Bethany was going to have a piano solo. What's the name of your piece, Bethany? Minuet and trio. I thought it would be something simple to understand.
Maybe later.
At the time that we introduce our families, we're also supposed to say what we do, those of us for our children. I want you to pay close attention to the next child who will introduce his family as to what does he really do. Edgar, where are you? Yours.
What do I do? I do a lot of things. I'm really busy for a change. This farming is a snap, let me tell you. When you get into retirement, that's when you get busy, fellas. Yes, I've been retired for a couple of years, but that's not the point. I'm here to introduce my family, and I'll tell you a little bit more later. The oldest one is Mark. He's living up at Madison Lake area, and I'm kind of glad he's on the lake. That's always convenient. He works over at St. Peter right now at the Ahnemann factory, Mark. And the next one in line is Jacqueline, better known to us as Jackie. He's married to a fellow by the name of Robert Krennick, one of the bohemians up in that country. And they have 3 daughters, or 2 daughters. I jumped that one. Stephanie and Allison. And our 3rd daughter lives in Phoenix, and that's where we happen to spend the winter, which isn't too bad a place. Everybody said it wasn't too bad a winter here this year, other than being a little cold. But I said, well, that might be, but it just proves my theory. Cold causes brain damage. But she lives down there, and she's married to a fellow by the name of Eric Kerr, and they have a little boy, 2 years old, Brandon, and they're expecting their 2nd child in the last part of May, first part of June, somewhere. They say it's going to go till June. I can't believe it. But we're going down for christening in July. I'm going to check that country out, see how it is when it's hot. But I think the golf game will be all right then, too. Then we got our little caboose. My mother had 2 cabooses. We only had 1. Our last one, Noel, he's... well, it's one of these things you can't kick him out of the nest. He's home again, you know. He works for an outfit doing premium auditing, which he kind of likes, I guess. But this is our family, and I'm kind of proud of them.
School this fall. Kara's a flute teacher in Egan, and Jeff works for Northwest Airlines, and Christina plans on attending college at Wartburg College, which is the greatest school of all time. Guess where I went to school? Speaking of, Andrew made a reference to John, as to what we do. A number of years ago, 30 years ago almost, I was visiting with John Hattie about products to sell. And he said, Darrell, you want a product that absolutely everybody can buy and everybody will need sometime. Of course, I thought that was pretty good wisdom in view of the fact that the man sold eggs, for heaven's sakes. You know. So what I'm currently doing is I'm in charge of marketing and sales for a thing called the Minnesota Funeral Plan. I'm responsible for the northwest quadrant of Minnesota. We've got about 42 agents that market our product in that particular area, and it's a plan whereby, it's called whereby you can fund your prearranged funeral. So that's what I do, and I'm on the road and work with a lot of different people. So this is my family, thank you very much. And at this time, our 2 daughters will be performing a flute duet, I guess.
You can tell by size. I'm Dwight. My wife is Marilyn. Marilyn, please. 28 years she started with me. We live in Ankeny, Iowa. Been there 20 years. Our oldest daughter is Audra. She's 25. Tyler, Tyler is our son. He's 22. He's not here today. He'll graduate from the University of Iowa this spring. Kayla's the youngest, like I. She's 17. She's a junior in Ankeny High School. She works at Pizza Hut, active in a band, etc. Myself, I'm a sales rep. I work for a company called Larson Olson out of Minneapolis. I'm nervous. We sell turf equipment, lawn boy, light green, not dark green John Deere. Marilyn has a child care, daycare business. Audra is an administrative assistant for Yonkers Corporate downtown Des Moines. And then Kayla's a junior in high school. Thank you.
Didn't think that'd be very appropriate that the both of us play. Kind of hard to load two drum sets up in a car. So we're just going to do a reading. This comes from a book that my mother found. We're reading just little inserts from it. Grandchildren are God's compensation to us for growing old.
Having grandchildren is the best of all possible worlds. I don't have any responsibility for them. I just do all the fun stuff.
No matter what you do, your grandmother thinks it's wonderful.
Nothing makes a girl smarter than being a granddaughter.
The grandmother corrects your grammar and wipes the imaginary dirt from your cheeks.
Just about the time a woman thinks her work is done, she becomes a grandmother.
The grandmother is a mother who has a second chance.
A grandparent pretends she doesn't know who you are on Halloween.
Grandparents don't have to be smart, only answer questions like why do dogs hate cats and how come God isn't married.
If a grandmother puts her foot down, the only safe place to do it nowadays is in the notebook.
The grandmother is the only babysitter who doesn't charge more after midnight or anything before midnight.
Perhaps one has to be very old before one learns to be amused rather than shocked.
When a child is born, so are grandmothers.
A grandmother will accept your calls from anywhere. Collect.
The closest friends I have made all through life have been people who also grew up close to a loving grandmother.
A grandmother will help you with your buttons, your zippers, and your shoelaces and not be in a hurry for you to grow up.
No cowboy was ever faster on the draw than a grandmother pulling a baby picture out of her wallet.
To our grandchildren, what will we tell them about their parents' childhood and our own young years as a living history?
She's a good lady. I don't think she knows all our names, but because she calls us all dear.
A grandmother is a babysitter who watches the kids instead of the television.
What's so simple even a child can manipulate it? The grandparent.
A grandmother is somebody who spent her time when she was young telling your mother not what to do and how now she spends her time criticizing your mother for giving you the same advice.
Grandparents are people who come to your house, spoil the children, and then go home.
Our grandchildren accept us for ourselves without rebuke or effort to change us, as no one in our entire lives has ever done. Not our parents, siblings, spouses, friends, and hardly ever our full-grown children.
A grandmother will put a sweater on you when she is cold, feed you when she is hungry, and put you to bed when she is tired.
Spoil them, love them, indulge them, then send them back to their parents to civilize them again.
The advantage of being 90 years old is that one has had many people to love.
If nothing is going well, call your grandmother. is warm, her hugs are tight, her face gives off a special light. She always listens with delight. This is a grandmother. She seems to know just what to say when it has been rainy, when it has been a rainy day. She sees the rainbow right away. This is a grandmother. It doesn't matter what you do, she only sees the perfect you and pouts it out to other people. This is a grandmother. For all that you have given me, for the things that you have helped me see, you are and you always will be the world's greatest grandmother.
I don't think it's from lack of work. I call it bodybuilding. I wrote a book on it, and I'll be signing autographs afterwards. Mother, at this time, I think we're going to have a little fun. This is called reminiscing. Some of it's reminiscing, and some of it has a little stuff tied in with it, you know. I'd like to start that off. For those of you who have a pencil and paper, I want you to spell out this word. And here's how it's spelled. It's W-E-L-E-N-A-H-W-A-Y, and it's pronounced well anyway. Have we heard that, kids, huh? Well anyway, when she's telling us a story from the past, we say, Mother, we've heard that before. And we kind of slow her down, and pretty quick it's, well, anyway, and away we go. We hear it again. You didn't know how you spelled that, did you, Buck? You didn't take a lesson. W-E-L, you know. All right. Vanny, would you like to come up and be number one? The grandchildren are also invited to share something of some nature, if you have something.
I'm sure that the rest of you can relate to what I'm going to say about some of Mother's favorite sayings. She would always say, things done by halves are never done right. Remember, Dorothy? And the rest of you too. And then she would say, a place for everything and everything in its place. Then also, then when she would want us to do something, and you know, we don't always want to do that as a child. And so, yes, I know.
This is going to hurt.
Yes, and then she would just do like this. Did that ever happen to anybody else that your mother would? But please don't accuse her. Oh, Sheldon. But don't anybody accuse her of child abuse, okay? Because you never know today what might happen. But then the good thing that I want to say is I remember well all the dresses that she sewed for me when I was a little girl, and that was very nice. So, okay, that's what I have to say.
Edgar?
You're telling me she could pull ears. It wasn't so bad when she pulled them as when she twisted it. Then we knew she meant business, I'm telling you. But I think for the most part that all of us consider our mother and dad to be, and I'm going to include Dad. We had a good upbringing. I am convinced of that. They taught us there was more to life than me, myself, and I. And I think I really appreciate that. But Mother is 90 years old, and so is George Burns. And when George Burns got to be 90, they kind of roasted him, you remember? So I think maybe that might be in place now, but I go along with Vanny on this ear pulling. Oh, I tell you. But we learned to cope with it, you know, however. Vanny and I got along pretty good. We had no problems, and all at once here comes these other two, and then we really had a cope, I'm telling you. And I'm also convinced that the reason Vanny is as hard of hearing today, she got hers pulled more often than I did. But one of the things that, going back to, remember I mentioned earlier in regard to Johnny and the pheasant hunting deal, we kind of started that pre-season, but it was what was fun about it. You could go out in the field, and if a car went by, everything went dark, But about 5 minutes later, there was Snyders were out in the field, Litke's were out in the field, Greenfields were out. Everybody was out there, I'll tell you. But one of the things I do remember was Christmas over to the Sherbs. That quite a clan, there was, I don't know, a dozen kids or better. But we always had a good time, and Grandpa Sherb was always pretty good-hearted. Wine, wine, but that wasn't so bad. It really wasn't new to us, because I remember Alvin living there with Grandpa, and Alvin and Woody and Bob and Floyd and Sigmund and I, we go down and check the wine cellar out ahead of time. Who knows what it's going to be anyway. And some of that dandelion wine, I'm telling you, I didn't really go for that. But I think one of the things that you talk about Mother being calm, cool, and collected. I seen her one time, I'm telling you people, she was unglued. And it took her a week to get over it, but then again, maybe she had a reason. I think it was 42 or 43, we had Christmas over to our place with the Sherb clan, and they're all there, and I had my electric train set up in the northwest room, which even today is Walver's room. I caught more heck for that, because Walver was a neat person. Walver Vaughn, for those of you who knew him. He would empty his cups in the barn. I didn't always do that. Walver on his desk, he had a wild whipped cream oil on the right side, carton of Camels on the other side, and a brush and comb in the middle, and his clothes hung 3 fingers apart. More than once I got marched into that room. You see how it's supposed to look? But anyway, we're up in this room and we're playing, see, and we're all there. Like I say, Woody and Floyd and Bob and myself and Sigmund. And the word got out that we were having homemade ice cream. And for all of you that knew Woody, why, there was nothing he liked better than homemade ice cream. So we happened to find a string that we lowered out the north window. We pulled up the pail. We happened to find a spoon. And we kind of cleaned up on that one pail, Why we left anything in there, I don't know, because I know it added insult to injury. Because come lunchtime, and Mother goes out to get the ice cream, and whoops, the first pail she picked up was that one, and it was empty. Ooh, you talk about getting unglued, I'm telling you. Needless to say, us guys didn't get any ice cream, but we were so darn full of ice cream, we didn't really want it. But Mother still hasn't lost her spunk. And I can tell you that much, because last December, Marion and I are coming home, and we got home from Christmas, and we got home on Sunday afternoon. It was around 3, 4 o'clock, and the time we got unloaded, well, I called the other kids and said we were home, and the usual, and I said, well, I suppose I better call Ma, and she said, yeah, you'd be nice to her. And so I called her up, and I could tell she was not really in the best of mood, and I said to her, well, what did you do today? Well, she said, I went to church, which was only normal, because when we were kids, if we didn't want to go to church, you kind of con Dad a little bit. Ma, forget it, you never get the job done. But I said, well, we didn't make it to church, we were on the road. So I said, did you pray for me? She said, no, you can pray for yourself. So we love you, Mother, for everything, and we've had a lot of fun. I agree to that. Thanks.
I've only got one thing, well, 2 things. When we lived in Keister, I'll never understand this, why you'd put 2 teenage boys in the same bedroom, but they did. And it caused me great pain, physical, emotional, Some of it I still haven't recovered from. But Dwight, can you remember Mother coming down the hallway like this, kind of a clip and a clop? One shoe was off, one shoe was on. Yeah, child abuse, it was there, you know. Of course, we had been innocently sleeping when she did this, you know, nothing was going on. We got the opportunity to travel as young kids, especially Dwight and I guess, and I didn't realize that until we got a little bit older and had a chance to visit with other kids our age, and they had never been out of Minnesota, and we had a chance to be in a lot of different places, so thank you for that, and many other things. But there has to be a story I have to tell. One time in traveling, Gloria and I were getting ready to move. We had accepted a job in fundraising at Sioux City, and we were living in Columbus, Ohio. And Kara was our only child at that time. And we said, Mother, if you fly out and stay with Kara for about a week, we're going to go to Sioux City and look for housing. And then after that, we'll take a trip over into West Virginia and make a circle and come home. So on this trip, I can't remember the name of the town, if you can, Gloria, but we're in this hotel, 14 stories up, 2, 3 in the morning, this weird sound starts happening. It's a fire alarm. What do? You look out the window, and fire trucks look like toys, and they're coming through the streets. And they come right to the hotel, right down below us, and they look kind of small. So how are you going to get out of here? So the first thing, well, we'll get Mother up and get going, and everybody's scrambling around, because you certainly want to be dressed if this is real. And everybody's getting dressed. And you know, my mother has no desire for clothes at all. She doesn't like to shop, never likes to buy a new dress or shoes or gloves or purse, never. And all of a sudden we're all dressed, and Gloria turns around and says, Mother, what are you doing? And she's sitting on the edge of the bed. What are you doing? Well, I just can't figure out what to wear. Remember that? That's really the only story I've got on Mother. Do any of the grandchildren have, I know Clinton does, any of the rest of you have a comment? Clinton?
It's a choice of my own that I happen to live near Keister, and hence grandma was the grandma as far as being in the location and going up there always after school, and part of what Kayla and Audra read was so pertinent as far as getting spoiled rotten and never having to do anything for it or after it. That was really great. I really appreciate that, and I know Dayton called me up and wanted to join in and saying that, and thank you very much for everything you always did, and we love you dearly. And as far as the one thing I really can remember and appreciate more than anything else is this culinary delight she introduced me to. Mom, being a decent cook, a good cook and everything, always made my favorite cheese sandwiches, but it never quite had the taste until I went to Grandma's and she told me how to put mustard on them. And the following 20 years haven't been the same, so thank you very much.
I guess I forgot about the youngest caboose. Come on up here.
I'll make it pretty nice. Mother was a neat lady. There's times I've embarrassed her. One time I remember, and I couldn't have been over that tall, we were at Aunt Holly's, and there was a whole bunch of them sitting there. I went into the bedroom and came out running around naked. Don't know why. I did. Just get attention, I'm sure. The clumpity clump, there was also a yardstick involved. Yeah. Biggest yardstick I've ever seen in my life. It's still at home. You all, well, most of them, I'm sure, you all knew my dad. Big man, powerful. That was the boss, I'll guarantee you. The little one, she had the power. I'll never forget, Carol rode behind Mother. I rode behind Dad and he chewed Copenhagen. So number one, you had to watch out because the window, if you better have the window up. Had a 57 Caddy and the leather in the back seats were white. She liked a clean car. One Saturday afternoon, she was cleaning the car and all of a sudden she let out a yelp. Otto, you get out here and clean her. It's just a few spots on the leather where the snuff accidentally. You get out here and clean this up because I'm not going in this car again until it's clean. Boom. You never seen a man move so fast before? She was the boss.
Well, I don't really remember this too much, but when I was a year old, I was staying at grandmother's because I think Jackie was on the way or either expected, and I was at the grandparents, and I was still drinking out of the bottle, and Grandma had put me on the bed, and sure enough, I had chewed off the end of the bottle. Milk all over the bed. So after that, I learned how to drink from the glass. Thank you, Grandma.
I just remembered that Grandpa and Grandma would take a lot of big trips, and when they'd come home, they'd always come with something for the grandkids, and I've always kept some of those things. So this was one of the dolls they brought from Florida. I just brought two things along today, but then this little purse from Hawaii, and they always would think of us when on their big trip somewhere. So, thank you.
Grandma, but we got something else. Clapping your hands seems just such a harmless thing, but when our grandmother did it, it was heard throughout the house, and we knew what to do.
Grandma, we have one thing to say about you turning 90. Ach, Peter.
Christina and Clinton, would you be willing to help with some plates down there for Grandma and Harry and Helen? Donnie, would you take Margaret this time too? Thanks. I don't know who's going to help lift you. Hi, how are you? How are you?
I had to stay home from school because I couldn't go. And so what we did, well, I decided to open those cakes and put all in gallon jugs, you know.
How much books do you have to have? How much at a time? I have to have 4 at a time. I have to have 4 at a time. I might have 5. I can't remember.
meeting all of you, all of our best of family.
We have a good time.
Some in the bag,
That little one back there, you hit him.
What are the rooms above the club?
There's one upstairs, and there should be one in that behind. Is it there? Is it there?
You want somebody to help you carry your coffee with chocolate? Get us more coffee That was the Hi, Gordy. I heard you had a birthday. Was that yesterday? Could be worse. The weather couldn't be much better. Get rid of this time. It's flying around out.
I got the chicken.
I flipped that a little bit.
We'll start do something. We'll get something lined up. Yeah. Okay? Have a good day now. Are you sure you